brought in the usage of an SD card.
Yes.
Number one, question one. How safe is this SD card? Can someone make another one from River Road? Number two, now that you have, by admission, said that that Kems kit can be moved to another place for transmission, and the question that has been asked by Ken, and another one that has been brought up by Sam Gituku, where there were cases in the other election where ungazetted polling station transmitted results. Are we looking at the possibility of somebody else who has a similar SD card transmitting from the same area, but not the polling station where it has been put in? Number three, you've said that there will be 6 extra kits at a polling station. Do each and every of these come with its own SD card, or an SD card will be removed from one and put to the other in an effort to make sure that there is continuity? And number four, on the same.
No, can we, you see, you're asking too many questions. Okay, let's go one by one.
Still on the SD card.
Yes, go ahead. Because, okay, first of all, SD card is actually encrypted. The information that is inside the SD card is encrypted. It means that even if you get that SD card, it will be useless piece of information. For you to be able to access information that is SD card, you need to use the QR code for that polling station for you to actually be able to lock it to that polling station. So even if you are to get that SD card, it is going to be a useless piece of information. You cannot come up with your own SD card from River Road and come and insert it in our kit. It will not work. I wanted also to provide you assurance on the issue of results transmission. You see, you are going to transmit at the polling station, but if there is no network, it will actually display that this result has not been sent. If you are to leave that kit on and you are to move with it as we are going to the tallying center, suppose it were to get the network, okay, it will basically transmit it, but it will give you the coordinates, the GPS coordinate of the place where those results were actually transmitted. Now you can even choose to switch it off and switch it on at the tallying center. When you switch it on at the tallying center, of course, there's going to be network. It's going to be able to transmit that results.
So in 2017, the challenge then was a question of polling stations were transmitted from non-gazetted polling stations. How have you secured that, knowing that your regulations were defeated or were thrown out by Parliament?
So first of all, that's why I said you need to appreciate that our country cannot be covered. The telecommunication service provider, MNOs, are actually business entities. They are driven by profit. They will go to places where it makes business sense. They will not go to places where it doesn't make business.
And that is clear.
So it is
no doubt about that.
And therefore, there must be room. And here we are talking about budgetary constraints here, because to buy Thuraya kits, the satellite kits, last time it costed us around 1 billion shillings. We can't be spending 1 billion shillings for temporary. Let me finish first of all, because you need to give me time to respond, isn't it?
Yes.
So where it is not possible to transmit because one, maybe we do not have a Thuraya phone. Two, there is no 3G or 4G. These results must be transmitted at any other point. That is something that we must realize. It has to happen. So the issue of gazetted, a gazetted center or ungazetted centers, I want to believe that maybe at some point, because it even happened. For example, if you look at when we did the by-election for Kibra, we were to do the election at the secondary school, but because of the examination, we had to move the polling center from there to open ground. So, but we had to gazette that. It is possible at that particular time in 2017, maybe at the time whereby we were just near the election, they were actually moved to a different place and did not get time to gazette the same. So at that particular time, they were transmitted in those areas. But at this time, we've made arrangements to ensure that all the centers and polling stations are actually gazetted.
Before a point gets lost,
follow up there.
Yes,
the SD card.
Yes, will all the 6 kits.
SD card is just one for that polling station. If a kit malfunctions, we remove the SD card and use it now in another kit, which will be available.
And in the case,
and there may be one other thing, the issue about transmission. The Kems kit is enabled only to transmit the form that 4A that will be filled and signed at the polling. It cannot transmit any other thing other than that form. It cannot transmit another document other than that form, and it only transmits once. Once the send is done, that's it. It cannot transmit anything else.
So you're confirming that all the other kits are not coming with SD cards?
No, they will not, because you see, to provide that simple swap, once the kit has failed, it cannot work. What you need to do is basically just to remove the SD card.
Okay.
And maybe the SIM cards, because it has got primary SIM card and the secondary SIM card.
Then
and just insert them in the kit. You power it on. You take the QR code and it's on. The information still is resident in the SD card.
One of the primary concerns that came out during your meeting with the presidential candidates was the United Democratic Alliance and Kenya Kwanza, by extension, did not have so much of a problem with the usage of these biometrics. But one question was raised by the presidential candidate and the Secretary General of UDA, Veronica Maina, where they requested if there was a possibility that political parties would oversee the process of what is being fed into the Kems kit. Is it still an open invitation to them? And in line with that, is that what will also be on the manual register in the event that it is put there as a last resort? That's what they wanted to confirm.
Yes, we actually did discuss the same in our meeting, and we did actually agree that we'll allow them to go and visit. In fact, even as we speak, the first round of membership from those presidential candidates actually visited our warehouse, and they saw the work. They were very impressed with the work that was going on. And we've even agreed that we will still continue allowing them to go and observe what is happening there. Even during the time when we are actually now preparing, we are duplicating the stickers that will be used for the purpose of our agenda.
Okay, Chairperson.
Chairman and CEO, we need to be winding up. We need an intervention from Abu Bakar, because we're just out of time.
All right, Chairman, my colleagues are making reference to 2017. One, because it was the last general election, and two, because there was an election nullified. Part of the reasons as to why the Supreme Court held its decision of nullifying that election was the hesitancy by Iebc to open the server. Nearly 5 years later, you are still the chairman of Iebc. To the millions of Kenyans who are watching us tonight, can you explain to them why Iebc chairman, Wafula Chebukati, and the commission was hesitant to open the server?
Is still hesitant.
That is not true. We were not hesitant to open the server.
But that is the reason as to why the Supreme Court nullified that election.
Yes, the server was opened. There were 14 orders by the Supreme Court, and giving access to the teams then that had come to the were sent to have access to the server. It took time to create access rights, because the company then that was involved is also does a lot of security work for other institutions. But
Chairman, let me answer your question. Election.
Let me answer your question.
You're saying the company was
the access rights were provided at around 3 p.m. And by that time, I think the parties had already left.
This was a consequential contest, an election that almost got the country into the brink of what could have been the worst. The country's Supreme Court ordered you open the server. You must have been in communication with the company that was holding the server on your behalf.
So why not answered you? I'm saying the server access rights were given.
Okay.
2017 is now is in the past. We are now talking of 2022. And what you should be asking me is, how are we prepared for 2022? I think that's the conversation we should be having.
With respect, I will ask you how you are prepared for 2022. The past is equally important. This has been contentious. It nearly divided the country. It put Iebc, the commission,
there was a fresh presidential election in 2017. The commission enforced what then had been was the judgment of the first judgment, the nullification. Everything that was done in that nullification case was then implemented in the fresh presidential election, and that's what we are now running with. So let's not dwell on 2017. Let's
as we finalize, should you be ordered by the Supreme Court in the next 27, 28 days to open the server. What confidence are you assuring Kenyans that you will have the ability to open the server?
Yeah, that's a good question. First of all, I want to tell Kenyans tonight that the main server is at the polling station. That's where the focus is. That's where the media will be. That's where the agents of candidates will be. We are telling everybody the result is at the polling station.
Okay,
Number one.
Chairman and CEO.
No, let me first of all provide clarity on that issue, because I think it's creating some tension. Listen, in fresh presidential election, we did not wait to be asked to provide. We actually provided. So we are not going to wait to be asked. We will actually open that server.
And that was in the fresh. Why
yes,
did you not open before the fresh? Because the court wanted you to open.
Yes, okay, but so we learn from mistakes. We also make mistakes.
Okay.
I want to believe you also. So listen.
And that mistake was the elections were bungled, isn't it? It was a heavy mistake. You can't just
listen. You want to focus on the negative side. Let us focus on the positive side.
It's accountability. It's not negativity, actually.
No, and that's why we are accountable for the same. We are telling you that, and the chairman explained that the reason why there was delay is because of the formalities. For you to be given access right today, there's a formality for you to do.
Was it difficult?
You have actually there are some formalities. You have to file an application. Right. There are some forms that you need to file in order for you to be provided the access right. So it happened that it was provided late, but nevertheless we learned from that.
Okay, CEO.
Yes.
Now it's 3 minutes to 11. All these TV stations will hang me if I don't end this interview by 11 o'clock. So we have 2 questions. First, KPMG report, when are you releasing it? What is in that you don't want the people to know? And secondly, how will Kenyans follow the results of the presidential election at a time that no text results are being transmitted? We're just transmitting images. How will they follow from the National Tallying Center? What's going on? Any of you can take it.
And thirdly, as we finish this, there's the question of our elections and how they might get rowdy at times. And you have admitted that there's a probability that at one polling station there will only be one SD card. What if in the rowdy mess that happens, somebody runs away with the Kems kit that has the SD card?
I think you
Let's go ahead,
take the other one. I'll do the last one.
Am I to start first? Or
yes,
that one. Yeah. I start with the last one.
Yes.
Yeah, we said that why we are saying that you use the SD card that is actually in the polling station is because it already has the information. It has information regarding the register. It is possible that, as you are saying, that people may actually run with that. If it happens, then the complementary method we are talking about, if it's going to be very, very difficult to actually get another SD card, we have the physical register. So I don't think it should be an issue per se.
Okay.
But I want to believe that there are policemen. We have got 2 policemen in the polling station. So if a Kems kit fails, we should be able to get the other backup kit, and we'll be able to swap it in front of people as they are seeing.
Please, CEO and Chairman, deal with the 2 questions, KPMG and how Kenyans will follow results. Any of you can take it.
Yes, Chairman.
Maybe the CEO can comment on that. But as a commission, we have instructed management then to release the KPMG report. What they were working on was the implementation matrix, because we are alive to the fact that in this country, if we don't tell Kenyans what we have done about the report, then the media houses will be more full of what we have not done. So I think the CEO has worked on it.
Okay.
Perhaps he can comment on when it's
lakini mbona hiyo report imechelewa na tayari mshachapisha sajili ya wapiga kura pia?
Let me say this. I think I stated it. I think it was last weekend. If I'm not wrong, is when we said that when we had the media briefing, we said that it is good to give that report, but you're also going to ask us what have you done, and therefore it is also important for us to show you what we have actually done regarding the recommendations, because we've also taken you through the report, isn't it? When it was actually released,
no,
we did.
A 1 page.
CEO not in full.
No, yes. I know you want the detailed report.
Yes.
But the executive summary that we gave you actually basically covered everything. The question is now.
Release.
Yes.
You gave a press release.
Press statements that we did.
Yes, we took you through the executive summary of the report, which by and large actually covered the issues. But nevertheless, we are not saying that we are not going to give you the report. We are saying that we want to give you a report in terms of also what we have done.
Okay.
And you know that also we've been doing a lot of activities back and back since that time up to now. Even now you are engaging us up to 11 now. So please, we are also human beings. We need to rest. We need to work.
Okay.
And therefore, we had promised that we are going to release it possibly by end of this week. Today we are on Wednesday.
So we'll have the KPMG report on the voter register.
That is actually what you had promised.
Okay.
Together with the implementation matrix of what...
The last question on how Kenyans will follow results, knowing that tax results will not be coming to the National Tallying Center?
Yes, we have the results will be in the public portal. And I also wanted to assure that the security that we want to deploy in terms of results transmission is actually solid, because we are going to use what we refer to as a virtual private network. We are going to use GSM, but we are going to have another layer of network, which is called VPN. And in that layer is where we are going to transmit the results. You can be able to transmit the results only after you've captured the image of the results, which has got a QR code.
Okay.
So the kit will not allow you to capture any other information apart from that, because it has a QR code dedicated to that one.
CEO, that was very well explained by yourself and the chairman. But the specific question, because we have just a minute to the end, Kenyans want to access presidential election results. You have said that parties and candidates can do parallel tallying by themselves.
Yes.
But Kenyans need to trust Iebc. How will they know how their candidates are faring on a regular basis at a time that you said there will be no tax results?
We have an arrangement with the media guys. We are saying deploy to the constituents or even the polling stations, and you report those results. And I think...
So there will be no results from the National Tallying Center until you have every document from the polling stations?
For us at the National Tallying Center, we shall get the results and project them as soon as they come in. So there are various levels of information which will go to the country.
You'll project upon? What do you need to do before you project?
We shall verify and project.
Okay.
All right. 10 seconds.
Public stream. No, we don't. Unfortunately, we don't have any more time for more questions. But you can see, Chairman and CEO, that there is so much interest in this topic. These are just the journalists. You can imagine what Kenyans are saying.
Arrange another session.
Yes, we should. We should actually to get into more details about this. And thank you so much, Chairman Wafula Chebukati, for making time for us, as well as Chief Executive Officer Marjan Hussein Marjan. I keep getting confused about that name. Ken Mijungu from KTN News, and of course Abubakar Abdullahi from TV 47. Kamche Medza from KBC Channel 1, and of course Ayub Abdul Kadir from K24, and Kennedy Murithi for making time for us to have this conversation. Of course, you've been watching a live interview and engagement with the leadership of the Iebc as a commission with 26 days to the general election. We hope that you've been able to get some information that is helpful for you to know what's going on, and we'll continue doing this, asking questions in our respective media houses. Of course, this has been coming to you live from different channels, TV channels, including those represented here. My name is Sam Gituku from Citizen TV. Good night.
Gubernatorial race in Makueni County is on. Candidates are lining up to showcase their development agenda. Don't miss out this Thursday on 14th July. Tune in to KBC Channel 1 from 9:50 p.m. for a live Makueni County gubernatorial debate from Acacia Hotel, Watertown.
We don't have
the 1.1 million. The question is this is a player in this election. How did the team for Deputy President William Ruto know that his voters, not just voters being moved, said his supporters have been moved from one location to the other. This was before the KPMG report. This was before even you spoke about the register. How did they know this happened, Chairman?
Yeah, thank you, Ken. I don't know how they knew. Maybe that question should be addressed to the Deputy President who came up with the statement. But what I do know is that we had the KPMG report, and the recommendations of that report, including the issue you are raising about the transfers, came as a result of that report. And that's how we addressed the issues after that. So how that information then was available to the candidate for Kenya Kwanza, I don't know.
But then, Chairman,
yeah.
The problem with this is this. This is a candidate in this election. You don't know how they knew. There are people who have access to your system. Do you think this information came from your system? Because you confirmed it later through even the KPMG report that indeed there are voters who had been moved. The concern, however, is not even about the voters. How he knew his voters were moved. Does it bother you that a candidate would have such details that later is confirmed by a report?
Let's put it this way. The information of 1 million is not correct. So let's start from there. So if we start from there, then we can say that if the information is not correct, then why are we worried about that information? Maybe perhaps the only thing we can talk about now is the fact that there was some cases of movement of transfers, which were very, very few cases. I think there were less than 5,000 cases. So if you look at that with the 1 million movement, you see we are talking about two different things here.
But the admission,
yes, yeah.
Chair, the admission is there was movement. How did that movement occur? The admission is, even if there were two voters, there was movement. How did it occur?
Now, that has been explained in the audit report. The Commission instituted investigations, and the report of the investigations came out last week. 5 officers of the Commission then were involved in that issue, and the file has since been taken to the DPP for further investigation and prosecution. So I think the report is there with the DPP, and that then explains how that movement took place. So I don't think the two issues then can be...
Chairman, whether you're saying that the Deputy President said it is 1 million and you're saying that it is less than 5,000 or 5,000 thereabout,